Beautiful sunrise this morning in Daytona Beach, Florida. Had a great long ride yesterday down from Charleston, and now it's time to load the bike. Taking my time to make sure I get all of my BMW Vario Panniers and top case, also getting my tail bag attached, making sure everything is secure and ready to go. Checking the bike over to make sure everything's ready. We'll check the tire pressure as soon as we get on the road and we get rolling. Bike ran perfect yesterday, and that was a lot of fun heading down. So the plan for the next 2 days is to make my way from Daytona Beach all the way down to Marathon, Florida. We'll make a stop tonight in West Palm Beach, and then the next day pass through Key Largo on the way down to Marathon. Marathon is within about 45 miles of Key West, which is our ultimate destination. So traveling alone has its advantages and disadvantages. It gives you a chance to think about simple things like the weather. Is it going to rain? What are the winds going to do? What's the temperature? It really brings you down to the basics of life and the sights and sounds of being on the road alone with the bike. When you should eat and sleep, all those things become secondary in a way when you're out on the road. It's more about enjoying the trip, being in tune with the bike, and enjoying the travel and ultimately achieving a destination. That's what I've enjoyed about this trip so far, is being away from all the distractions and just being in tune with the bike and the road, the sunshine, and traveling south. And that's what this episode is really all about, traveling south. I've been to the Keys many times, and there's something about the Keys that is so isolated in a way, and in another way, it's a dead end, and you eventually have to turn around and come back. But it's something about being at the end of that destination, the end of the islands, that has its attraction for me. All the isolated keys and islands and bridges and traveling in the beauty of the coast. That's what this trip is all about, at least in the first half. In the second half of this series, we'll make our way back through the west coast of Florida, traveling across the Everglades and up the beautiful west coast on the Gulf of Mexico side. So please enjoy as we travel south.
As we leave the Florida mainland, we're getting ready to go across a very special part of the road that connects down to the Keys, known as the Blue Wall. This is part of the Overseas Highway, which is a 113-mile highway carrying U.S. Route 1 through the Florida Keys to Key West. Large parts of it were built on the former rights-of-way of the Overseas Railroad, the Key West extension of the Florida East Coast Railway. Completed in 1912, the Overseas Railroad was heavily damaged and partially destroyed in the 1935 Labor Day hurricane. The Florida East Coast Railway was financially unable to rebuild the destroyed sections, so the roadbed and remaining bridges were sold to the state of Florida for $640,000. Since the 1950s, the Overseas Highway has been refurbished into a main coastal highway between the cities of Miami and Key West, offering travelers an exotic roadway through a tropical savanna environment and access to the largest area of coral reefs on the U.S. mainland. Many exotic animals such as the American alligator, American crocodile, and key deer inhabit the tropical islands of the Florida Keys.